listening to DINO 106.5, bringing you the greatest Mesozoic hits, spanning all the way from the Triassic, the Jurassic, and the Cretaceous period. Now, here's the Dinosaur Review for Kids.
Hello everyone out there in the dinosaur universe, and welcome to the Dinosaur Review for Kids podcast. My name is Dinosaur Ranger Anthony, and you're listening to episode number 9 of the Dinosaur Review for Kids. Now, after this podcast, the stage will be set for our first ever prehistoric cage match, and that is when we take the top 2 species from the previous 9 episodes, and those 2 will go one-on-one in the squared circle in the prehistoric cage match. Right now at the top we have our Tyrannosaurus Rex of a 9.3 and our Apatosaurus of an 8.6. But we've got one more episode to do before we get to the prehistoric cage match. So could today's species overtake the Apatosaurus' score of an 8.6 and face off with the Tyrannosaurus Rex in our prehistoric cage match episode? We will find out here in just a moment when we begin our 9th review as part of the Dinosaur Review for Kids podcast. Now remember, check out my website at stompchomproar.com. There's so much you can find on there, from in-person packages for birthday parties, elementary school classrooms, preschools, daycares, to even virtual lessons for people all across the country and even all across the globe. You can also check out my prehistoric store if you want to check out some cool merchandise, or you can go over to the Science Lab blog, and there you can find the post for the Dinosaur Review for Kids, and you can click on the scorecard and you can print off for free the official Dinosaur Review for Kids scorecard. You can review your own dinosaur species, or you can follow along with me, Dinosaur Ranger Anthony, and you can see if we get the same scores on my podcast. Now you guys can also go to patreon.com or download the Patreon app and search Stomp, Chomp, Roar, and you can become an official Junior Dinosaur Ranger and become part of this exclusive dinosaur club. It includes tons of exclusive content, including 3 Zoom sessions where there's 2 Zoom lessons and 1 Zoom discussion. So far for the remaining of November 2021, we still have 2 Zoom lessons coming up. On November 14th, we're doing the pterosaurs, which are the flying reptiles of the Mesozoic era, and then on November 21st, we're riding on the Mayflower with the Pilgrims, and we're going back 252 million years ago to Pangea, and we're going to see all about what Pangea was like all the way through the Mesozoic era, all the way through the breakup to 65 million years ago. Now, little company news, you guys, I just visited the Field Club Elementary School here in Omaha, Nebraska. I had tons of fun with all those kiddos yesterday, teaching them a little bit more about prehistoric life. It was just tons of fun, so thank you guys out there at Field Club Elementary School. Now, you guys, it is time to dive into the review, into the last species before we do that prehistoric cage match. This review is going to be so scary and so giant and so bizarre, and it just so happens it's probably my most favorite dinosaur in the entire dinosaur universe, and it's the Spinosaurus Egypticus. It is just such a crazy dinosaur. He's so bizarre, and I cannot wait to review him a little bit further as part of the Dinosaur Review for Kids podcast. So let's go ahead and pull up my official scorecard so that we can go ahead and get started on this Spinosaurus review. So for my video cast viewers on YouTube, I'm going to pull up my scorecard. Boom, there's the Spinosaurus, and its name means spiny lizard. Why do you think its name means spiny lizard? Is it because of that big spine, that sail on its back? I think so. Well, you guys, the dinosaur order or type for this dinosaur is a Saurischian dinosaur. So that means it is lizard-hipped, and then it falls into the theropods, which are the bipedal carnivores. Now, we'll get more into this dinosaur's stance here in a moment, because is the Spinosaurus a bipedal dinosaur or a quadrupedal dinosaur? I think maybe a little bit of both, but we'll see here in just a moment. And then the Spinosaurus falls into his own dinosaur family of the Spinosaurids. We did a review earlier in the podcast series of another Spinosaurids, and that was the Suchomimus. And that was a totally awesome dinosaur. You can check out that podcast later on if you haven't already. But this review is all about the main family member of the Spinosaurids family, and that is the Spinosaurus. So let's dive in a little bit deeper into this dinosaur review on the Spinosaurus. Let's go ahead and see what we can find. Now, how big was this dinosaur? What was its length, its height, its weight? Well, the Spinosaurus is up to 50 feet long from its snout all the way to the back of its tail. Now, it's up to 23 feet high, and it's at the sail. The sail is what is putting the Spinosaurus over all those other gigantic theropods like the Tyrannosaurus Rex, the Giganotosaurus, and the Carcharodontosaurus. So the Spinosaurus is the largest known theropod to ever walk on the planet, and he could have weighed up to 8.5 tons. Now, there's some theories out there that maybe the Spinosaurus was evolving down to a quadrupedal stance, and that would be that it would walk on all four legs. I'm holding on hope that it stays more of a bipedal dinosaur, walking on two legs like some of its other theropod counterparts, specifically the Tyrannosaurus Rex, but maybe it could have been getting down to all fours, and when it's a little bit with their arms, they believe they have longer arms, and then their tail, it's more fish-like, and we'll get more of its body characteristics here in a moment. But was it evolving down into a quadrupedal stance? Now let's go to its speed. How fast was this dinosaur? The Spinosaurus was coming in at 15 miles per hour when it was more on its bipedal stance. Now I also wanted to look up and do a little bit of research, because if it is going down into a quadrupedal stance and maybe being more of a semi-aquatic dinosaur, could the Spinosaurus, what was its speed when it was in the waters, when it was hunting for food? So I couldn't really find too much research, any studies about the speed of the Spinosaurus in the water. But I looked into some ancient crocodilians, and specifically an ancient caiman named the Prehistoric, and I did a little bit of research on him and seen that species of ancient caiman was coming in about 25 miles per hour. So I would believe that maybe the Spinosaurus would be around the same kind of speed when it came to swimming in the water. Now, what kind of weapons or defense did the Spinosaurus have? It had that long, narrow snout, crocodilian-like snout, and it had a 6-foot skull. You guys, I could lay down right here, and the skull of the Spinosaurus would be bigger than I am. Now, what about its bite force or its snap speed? Since the Spinosaurus has that crocodilian-like snout, it has a more slender snout. Its snap speed would have been tremendous, way faster than like our T-Rex or Giganotosaurus, Carcharodontosaurus. It just would have had a quick snap speed, but it wouldn't have had the bite force like the Tyrannosaurus Rex has, with more of that U-shaped snout. The Spinosaurus would have had 64 straight, conical-like teeth. It was a carnivore, but also a piscivore, which means that it's eating all kinds of like fish and marine-type animals. Now, it has that sail on its back. Let's get to the sail. It had a 6-foot spines or sail that come from the back vertebrae on the back of the Spinosaurus. Those spines come up and they're covered in the skin, which give it a sail-like feature on the back of the Spinosaurus. Now, what was this used for? What is the sail used for on the Spinosaurus? And I've got 5 good theories. First, size. It was putting it over all the other animals that lived in its region, in its environment. It's making the Spinosaurus look as tall as it can, giving it the name of the largest known theropod. So the height is really going to be in its advantage against other carnivores and all the herbivores. Now, what about thermal? Maybe it's kind of like the Dimetrodon, where it's absorbing the sun's rays, the sun's energy, and giving it enough warmth and energy throughout the day, if they are more cold-blooded animals. Now, dorsal fin. Maybe it's kind of using it like a shark's dorsal fin, and it's helping it be more agile sail turn quicker in the waters as it's swimming through the waters looking for food. Maybe it could be for recognition. Maybe it has different designs, different imprints on the sail so that the species can recognize all the different Spinosaurus that live in the land. And lastly, maybe it was for mating. Kind of like male peacocks today have all those pretty colored feathers. Maybe the male Spinosaurus, the sail could have been looked a lot prettier than the females, and that would attract all the females to the male Spinosaurus so they could continue having babies and continue to have the species grow. So those are 5 quick theories about what the sail was used for. I believe it's a little bit about size, dorsal fin, and I bet it would have some kind of recognition or some kind of different colors. I think that would be really awesome if it would have had that, and I definitely believe it would have attracted all the female Spinosauruses. So let's talk about those arms, because the arms of the Spinosaurus they're longer than most other theropods, and specifically, they're way bigger than the Tyrannosaurus Rex arms. So the arms of the Spinosaurus are quite a bit longer than the other theropod counterparts, and I believe that's probably helping him swim a little bit more in the waters. He's got those big 3 claws on its digits, and so those arms just would have been tremendously powerful swimming in the water, maybe grabbing prey. So let's talk about its paddle-like feet. The Spinosaurus had paddle-like feet and then a fish-like tail. So they found fossil evidence where the tail of the Spinosaurus was more fish-like, which gives scientists theories that maybe it was the first semi-aquatic dinosaur. They're using those paddle-like feet, those longer arms that could maybe get down to a quadrupedal stance, and then that fish-like tail is helping them swim through the waters around Pangaea in which it's living, hunting for all kinds of marine species. Now, the Spinosaurus also had an advanced brain according to its brain to body mass ratio. Now, when did this dinosaur live and how long did it live throughout the Mesozoic era? So the Spinosaurus is coming in at about 98 to 95 million years ago during the Middle Cretaceous period, and it's found today in what is now northern Africa, mainly Egypt and Morocco. So it's very hard. The species, finding more fossils of the Spinosaurus is very hard because paleontologists are looking for Spinosaurus in such harsh environments of the Sahara Desert over in northern Africa. So it's very hard to find any more Spinosaurus specimens that we can use for more research. It's very difficult, very rare to find a Spinosaurus. Now, the first Spinosaurus, the holotype, was named and described in 1912 by Ernest Stromer. And something really cool about the holotype Spinosaurus, I'm a history minor when I went to college, so I love everything history, and I really enjoy World War II. Well, what happened during World War II was an Allied bomber raid went into the city of Munich, Germany, and I really hope they accidentally bombed the museum, the Natural History Museum, and after it was bombed, the Spinosaurus holotype fossils, all the research, the documents were all destroyed, you guys. It would have just been, I couldn't imagine all my work being destroyed like that in that Allied bomber raid. So the holotype was vanished from the record. It was gone, and it wouldn't be till many years later we would start seeing more Spinosaurus fossil specimens found for future research. So you guys, that is a little bit more about the Spinosaurus. It is the largest known theropod, getting up to 23 feet tall, specifically because of that 6-foot sail. It's getting about 15 miles per hour, maybe 25 miles per hour in the water. It has that long, narrow, crocodilian-like snout, that 6-foot skull, great snap speed, 64 straight conical-like teeth. It's got that huge sail on its back, making it look so powerful and strong against all the other animals. Those longer arms, those paddle-like feet, the fish-like tail, and the advanced brain is all giving Spinosaurus such a great review, and it is very tough figuring out where to put it around the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Is it better than the T-Rex? Is it going to score the exact same as the Tyrannosaurus Rex? Or does it go beneath the T-Rex? It's the million-dollar question, you guys. All paleontologists, all dinosaur fans, enthusiasts, it is just so difficult to put these guys right next to each other. Who would win? Well, you guys, after reviewing this dinosaur, I think it is safe for me to give the Spinosaurus a 9.2 2. So a 9.2 for our Spinosaurus, you guys. He is 1 point underneath our Tyrannosaurus Rex of a 9.3. So there you have it, you guys. 9.2 for our Spinosaurus. The stage is now set. The Apatosaurus has been beaten out. The Apatosaurus got an 8.6 on the fossil scale. Our Spinosaurus now has a 9.2. So now the stage is set. We've got our Tyrannosaurus Rex right here, who scored a 9.3. And we've got our Spinosaurus right here, who scored a 9.2. These two dinosaurs will face off in the Prehistoric Cage Match episode, and we will once and for all learn who would have won in a true fight between these two behemoth dinosaurs during the Mesozoic era. It is going to be fantastic. I cannot wait to record that podcast, the Prehistoric Cage Match episode. Now remember, you guys, you can become official Junior Dinosaur Rangers as part of my Patreon club. Just search Stomp Chomp Roar on Patreon, and you can still take part in those 2 Zoom lessons for this month. Pterosaurs on November 14th, and the maiden voyage of the Mayflower to the area known as Pangea, the supercontinent of Pangea. That one will be on November 21st. You guys, you can also go to my Facebook page. Just search Stomp Chomp Roar on Facebook, and you'll see an event that I'm doing on Thanksgiving Day. I'm going to do a dinosaur toy Thanksgiving Day parade. It is 100% free. All you have to do is go to my Facebook, like my Facebook page, go to the events, and you'll see the event, and you can RSVP as going to that awesome event. It's going to be super fun. It's on Thanksgiving Day at 10 a.m. So go ahead and check that out, you guys. And as always, my name is Dinosaur Ranger Anthony. I cannot wait to do the Prehistoric Cage Match on these 2 dinosaurs, you guys. But as always, keep digging for dinosaurs. We'll see you guys later.